Hello, everyone, and welcome. Today's gospel comes from Mark chapter 10, verses 32 to 45. Jesus is talking to his disciples, and James and John want to be seated at his right and his left hand when he goes into glory. Made me think about that, and Jesus said to them, "That's not my place to determine that." Let's think about this. The disciples were on their way going up to Jerusalem, and Jesus went ahead of them. They were amazed, and those who followed were afraid. Taking the 12 aside again, he began to tell them what was going to happen to him. "Behold, we are going up to Jerusalem, and the Son of Man will be handed over to the chief priests and the scribes, and they will condemn him to death and hand him over to the Gentiles, who will mock him, spit upon him, scourge him, and put him to death. But after 3 days he will rise." Then James and John, the sons of Zebedee, came to Jesus and said to him, "Teacher, we want you to do for us whatever we ask of you." I found that phrase interesting. Whatever we ask of you. We want you to do whatever we ask of you. How often do we do that? We ask Jesus for a lot. Whenever we pray, we might want someone healed. We may want a certain job. We may want a pay raise, whatever it is. It says, "Teacher, we want you to do for us whatever we ask of you." He replied, "What do you wish me to do for you?" And they answered him, "Grant that in your glory we may sit one at your right and the other at your left." And Jesus said to them, "You do not know what you're asking. Can you drink the chalice that I drink, or be baptized with the baptism with which I am baptized?" And they said to him, "We can." And Jesus said to them, "The chalice that I drink you will drink, and with the baptism with which I am baptized you will be baptized. But to sit at my right or at my left is not mine to give, but is for those with whom it has been prepared." When the 10 heard this, they became indignant at James and John. And Jesus summoned them and said to them, "You know that those who are recognized as rulers over the Gentiles lord it over them, and their great ones make their authority over them felt. But it shall not be so among you. Rather, whoever wishes to be great among you will be your servant. Whoever wishes to be first among you will be the slave of all. For the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve, and to give his life as a ransom for many." My first thought went to the passage where Jesus said, "Grant that in your glory we may sit one at your right and the other at your left." And Jesus said to them, "You do not know what you are asking." And then he said, "To sit at my right or at my left is not mine to give, but those with whom I have been prepared." I thought about those of authority, and when you might ask of something. So my thought went to my students, and they might want something of me. And I always had you always had to weigh it, can I do this for them? And if I can do it for them, do I need to get permission from someone else? Do I have the ability to do that? Do I have the authority to do that? I thought about my grandchildren. When I'm with them, there are things that I can do with them and for them, but if they have a request of me that is something that might go against the authority of their parents, then I don't have that authority to grant that wish or to grant that request. And so I have to, tell them that I can't do that. In my job, there are things in this job at the parish office that, I can do. However, there are some things I cannot without the authority of Father giving me permission to say, yes, I can do that. No, you cannot. Or You know, people will call here a lot and ask that I make appointments for them. I don't have that authority. He runs his own appointment book. And so I just can't say, sure, I'll plug you in Wednesday at 9 o'clock. That's just something I can't do. He has that authority. Jeff Cavin talked about today about just first shall be last, and standing in line and always wanting to, you know, be right there, be the first to get something. And I got to thinking about that, and in my brain I was thinking, when is it that I feel like I have to be first, or I want to get in that line really quick? And then I thought about when you go to a restaurant and you want to be the first ones there. So I have to tell you, when I'm at home in Washington, and we go to 7 a.m. Mass on Sunday, and as soon as we're out of Mass, I am gone because I want our booth. If we don't get our booth, that's okay. It's our booth because it was our dad's. Or when I'm in the grocery line and you're looking for that line that's the shortest to see if you can get through. How many times does that ever happen to you? You get into the shortest line and then something always happens to where it takes longer than another line that you could have been in. You know. So let's think about our request today of Jesus, and what is it that we are asking of him? And maybe instead of asking him for something, just asking that his will be done. And, you know, do our prayer requests align with his needs and his desires for us? All right, go out today and give him Jesus.